back with another episode. We got the president of Showing Love himself, Austin Perine, and we got his daddy, TJ Perine. Finna have a real conversation just about all the different things that they've been able to do. If you don't know, Austin is on the House of Pain, Tyler Perry House of Pain show. He's actually known, the character is Christian Pain, right? Yeah. Christian Pain. So we're going to go behind the curtains and learn about how they got where they are. I actually met Austin, what it was, about 4 or 5 years ago.
Like 2018?
Yeah. So we met then, and he actually went viral on the, it's funny, we were just talking about news. He went viral on the CBS Evening News because he was showing love to the homeless. And when we talk about showing love, he was feeding the homeless. His dad was right there to support him. And so I reached out to his dad, and we were able to meet up in Atlanta. And the rest is history. I was basically able to help them show love, and we have since then connected. And fast forward, here we go.
Here we go, 2025, baby.
So let's jump into it. Austin, you still trying to be president?
No, absolutely not.
Why?
Because of all the decisions that the president got to make. Like, he got to decide when to strike on other countries, when to stay quiet. You know, stuff like that.
So, but you would still like to be the president that show love, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Talk about why you like to show love to the homeless.
So, I just feel like everybody needs to be valued in some way. And it's not fair that some people get that treatment and some people don't. Mr.
TJ, when you hear that, what goes through your head as a father?
He's maturing rapidly. You know, when we started, he was 4 years old feeding the homeless. And so now you fast forward 7 years, he's preteen, and he's using phrases that I can't use.
Like what? Like what?
Everybody deserves to be valued. And I'm like, you sure you don't want to be president? Dang. You know what I mean? So it's flattering to see him maturing and sitting up and chopping it up with you like an adult, right, or like a preteen.
I'm honored.
And he has like some profound stuff to say. So that's how it makes me feel. That's what I think about when I hear him talking like that. I just want to sit back and listen to more.
So let's go ahead and listen to more. Austin, you done got into acting.
Right.
How did you get into acting?
So I started feeding the homeless when I was 4, right?
Right.
And I had some screen time experience. And then when COVID hit, I couldn't feed the homeless no more. Right. And I started acting. So my dad had this app called Actors Access. We had an agency, acting roster and all that. But we did like one gig, and we figured out that the agent.
What was that? IHOP?
Yeah.
IHOP.
Yeah. We figured out that the agent was just sort of using us to get like 20% of everything we got. Yeah.
TJ, could you dive more into what Austin is talking about right here?
So, for example, like we flew out to Hollywood,
okay,
to do an IHOP commercial, and we had to pay for the flights. We paid for the hotel, and this might be standard for the industry.
Right.
But as his dad, I'm not looking at what's typical for the industry. I'm looking at what's fair for my son. Gotcha. And so I looked at, we was paying for the flight, so I'm flying Spirit to go to Hollywood. And then when we get there, we got there by city transit. I mean, we rode the bus.
Right.
And so I felt like we went through too much to give away 20% to the agent and 10% to the manager. So by the time we got done with that shoot and got paid, we got $750. And when I saw a check for $750 based on what we went through, and now I see the whole country watching us on IHOP, I knew that wasn't the business for us.
What did y'all go through?
Walking on the street, seeing people being stabbed. I mean, we in LA. You know, I was in a budget hotel because I was going off of what I could afford. being just in a position to where we didn't have a vehicle, all of those things for somebody else's gain,
Right.
if that makes sense.
Right. Austin, how did that make you feel at that time?
It made me feel sort of taken advantage of in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Seeing your son, and you just heard him, he said it made it feel like he was taken advantage of. As a father, to hear him even say that, would you say that that was accurate, or even worse?
It was accurate. It's kind of alarming because I didn't know that he was able to see that. I thought I was masking him from that, but in actuality, he was intelligent enough to know that we were being taken advantage of as well. But I don't harbor any bad, ill feelings towards the industry, the agency, or even our manager. I really appreciate what we went through because it led to bigger blessings.
Like Tyler Perry.
Like Tyler Perry.
Also, talk about what that's been like. You're on the House of Pain, and you told me earlier before the camera started rolling, like you really enjoy it. But when did you first learn that you were going to be on the Tyler Perry House of Pain show?
So I first learned it after we did an audition.
Okay.
They called us the next day. They said, "When can you be here? You got the role out of like 150 kids."
150 kids. That's a lot of kids, and they chose Austin, the one who loves to show love to the world. How did you feel in that moment?
I felt like it was unbelievable. Like the moment was just so big.
What did you say to Dad?
I said, "No way! I can't believe this, bro."
He did. And I couldn't believe it because here it is. We were working with an agency, and then when I got that $750, check, I stopped taking gigs from the agencies, meaning we stopped doing auditions that they were sending us. So all the agency do, for those of you who don't know, they just push you different auditions and opportunity and hoping that you land one, because if you do land one, they get 20%.
Right.
Of it. They sit behind their desk, scour the computer, scour the internet, and look for different opportunities and send them to you. If you don't get it, oh well. If you do, perfect. They get paid. So my thing was, they dropped us from the roster, didn't tell us. We stopped getting auditions, and I felt that's when I started feeling used.
Okay.
It wasn't when I realized they were getting paid, because everybody deserved to get their fair share.
Absolutely, right.
But when they dropped us because we weren't accepting roles, and part of it wasn't because of us not getting paid. Some of the roles were not roles that I wanted him to do because they would put him in a bad light. Okay. It might be a kid spitting on somebody, and at that time, he was just coming off the Show Love campaign. So people were looking at him in a positive light, and I didn't want him to do those kind of roles. And so when you don't do the roles they push you, then you're not an asset to them. You don't get them money, and they stop dealing with you. So they dropped us from the roster. 2 weeks later, I get a banner come across my phone. It said, "Acting opportunity, Christian Payne, Tyler Perry, House of Pain." And the Tyler Perry caught my eye.
All right.
And so
catch anybody eye, right?
Right. So when that caught my eye, I opened it up, and I was like, okay. What the heck? So we had what we call an Actors Access account, and that's like LinkedIn or Facebook for actors.
Actors, yeah.
Right. And so I still had the free account, but I didn't have the paid account. Right. So I still could do the audition, but I'd have to pay $25 for each audition instead of getting it complimentary to the membership.
Right.
So I had $26.50 in my bank account at the time, going through some challenging times financially. And I said, what the heck?
Before you move forward, I hate to interrupt you.
No.
What were some of those challenges you went through during that time of having that $25, basically?
As a man, not being able to provide some of the things that your kids are asking for, pulling up to different functions like travel baseball in a hoopty when other parents are in Suburbans. I'm in a Jeep Compass that's got the door handle hanging off. Those little things. But I didn't let that bother me. I just kept my heart in the right place. The same place it was in when we were passing out sandwiches. at this point, I've been there before.
Right.
Because I don't know if you remember, we were on Steve Harvey.
Yeah,
and I was going through some trying times then.
You got very emotional during that interview.
Yeah, so life is really about ups and downs, right? So I was at this point I was seasoned. So it wasn't as deflating as in my younger days, if that makes sense.
It does. How did you said that you really just stayed focused basically. How did you stay focused through all of that? Because it sounded like did you feel embarrassed, I guess, taking Austin places in what you described as a hoopty?
No, at that point I didn't, because at that point I'm trying to get him in the right position to succeed. Because I knew once we showed up to these baseball games in the Hoopties, he was going to be one of the best baseball players on the field. I knew that once we showed up to these school events in the Hoopty, he was going to be one of the smartest kids in the class. So it was kind of it was humorous to me, because I like to see the change in people's facial expressions from when they first see me to when they see the product.
Correct. Now, he's obviously that $25. I guess what did you do from that? Did it?
I paid the $25 for the audition. We did the audition with my cell phone.
Okay. Cell phone.
Yeah. Well, at the time, like he said, it was COVID.
Right.
So no longer you have to go to the studio for audition and do it in front of people. We were just doing it at the house.
Which is probably the new norm anyway at this point.
I had a buddy that gifted me 2 lights to make it look good. I put the lights behind the iPhone and we action. Boom. He started doing this thing, and I submitted it. A day later, they called back, and like he said, they chose him. And they said, when can we be there? They sent a doctor to the house or a medic to the house to do a swab for COVID
test. Okay.
And got us on the plane, and we was in Atlanta the next day.
And where do y'all stay at now?
We stay in Dallas now.
Stay in Dallas now. Y'all haven't always stayed in Dallas though, right?
Nope, we started in Birmingham, feeding the homeless. That's where everything kicked off. That's when I met you.
Right.
A lot of big brands picked us up during that time. Southwest Airlines, churches, Steve Harvey show. We did a lot of stuff on his Show Love campaign, feeding the homeless. And so when the time came, he was ready. We had gave up on acting. We gave up.
Wow.
Like I said, I'm paying for all the flights. I'm paying for the hotels. They getting paid, and they just pushing me out the door. Hey, we need you to be here. Hey, we need you to do this audition, this, and this. You getting paid, but you ain't doing all this work.
Right.
So
just felt like throwing in the towel at that point.
We did throw in the towel. I got a random email. We got dropped from the roster.
And that's when that whole Tyler Perry thing.
So now that 30% is ours.
Right.
The 20 from the agency and the 10 from the manager is ours. I remember the manager telling me, you need to make sure, you put some cucumbers on his eyes because he got eye bags and this and that. We used to have to submit photo headshots. And so her job as the manager was to critique it. And I don't hold it against her, but now I don't, because I understand the industry. But back then, being a dad who don't know nothing about the acting industry, it pissed me off. You feel me? So she said something like, you never know when you're going to get your opportunity. We might get you in front of Tyler Perry. And I told her, I said, we're going to get in front of Tyler Perry.
Ain't no might in it.
I said, we're going to get in front of Tyler Perry. With or without you. She laughed at me. And she was like, go ahead and get that headshot done. Boy, go ahead and get the headshot done and get his eyes fixed or whatever.
So at that point, you feel like they ain't really got no confidence that you finna make this happen. Y'all finna make this happen.
I didn't care whether she had confidence or not. I was tunnel vision on what I knew was going to happen. We were, and a lot of people ask me, man, your son acting, what you do to get him in that position to act? Bruh, I can tell you the story, but even if I tell you the story and you do it to a T, it's not going to happen the same, because it was a spiritual thing. I had favor on my side because our heart was in the right place from day one. And now I'm not saying that other people can't get that opportunity, but it don't always happen the same way.
It don't. Success doesn't happen the same way for nobody. And you said you saw it as a spiritual thing. How important is it to stay grounded spiritually?
Man, it's the most important thing. It's the most important thing. Your heart have to be light. You know, you have to have it in the right place, and then you have to be in the right place at the right time. So I don't believe in luck. I don't teach him luck. We have to make sure that we are prepared and we have a clear and clean heart. That's it.
So, Austin, has there ever been a moment where you have prayed for moments like this?
Yeah. I pray every night. I pray nightly, daily.
Okay.
Pray when I wake up. Just pray for good things to happen.
What is it like to see those good things happen?
It's like a blessing.
He speaks very intelligent, finna be 12 years old. I know this is something you instilled in him, but when you see where he's gone in these last couple of years, can you say that you've seen this happen?
Nah, not like this. I could have saw him obviously becoming a good kid, but where he is now is where I was at 18.
Do you feel like you're able to live, I don't want to say your life through him, but he's doing things that you wanted to?
No, clearly. I don't stop people. It's not an insult. I live through him. And people say, oh, you just living. It's so funny in his younger days, people like, you know, you need to stop living through your son. Because I would show videos of me working him out and just the grind that we do. You need to stop living through your son. Well, what am I supposed to live for?
Your son.
So for all of you out there who asking or downing people about living through their son, well, what are they supposed to do? That's the only thing I'm gonna have left when the clock on the wall say that's all for me. So what am I supposed to do? That's what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna live through him. Yeah.
To see y'all interact on social media, because you know I follow y'all, of course, to see y'all in the gym, he's doing sports, he's acting. You're able to witness all these different things, and it seems like y'all have this bond like no other. Like
That's
best
my dog.
friend.
That's my dog.
Your dog.
I don't sugarcoat nothing from him. Now I make sure that I'm respectful for his age, but if it's something that I already know that him and his little friends talking about anyway, then we gonna talk about it. Cause
Why you laugh, Austin?
Cause he know I'm fooling with it. Ain't that right?
Yeah.
Is dad a comedian to you?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So I told you we like Fred and Lamont. I'm Fred, he Lamont.
I got it.
I'm gonna keep it on.
Like, you know, Fred called Lamont.
I don't call him a big dummy.
Okay. I'm just saying.
But you know, it's the 2025 version of that.
Okay.
We're gonna leave that alone.
Okay.
But this is my dog, man. Like I said, if I know him and his friends talking about things that may be troublesome to me as a parent, I don't get mad. I try to make sure that I talk a little bit more about it with him. Because I refuse to let the streets teach him. I'm going to teach him first. You want to smoke a blunt? You want to know what weed about? Come on. We're going to do this. How that make you feel? You think you can get your schoolwork done now? You think you can play football? You think you can be an actor and remember your lines? Okay, cool. You know not to do that no more. Now, of course, he's not interested in weed right now.
Right. I know you.
But in the future, if those things, I mean, because as we know, as adolescents, when they get 16, 17, in high school, those things become prevalent,
they
right?
Curious.
They become curious. So right now, the curiosity is cuss words, you know, different stuff like that. So I'm gonna show them how to do all that the right way. Now, here's what's gonna happen. These are the consequences if they catch you at school talking like that. And these are the consequences if I catch you talking like this. But if you're gonna do it, this is how you do it.
Being able to sit here with your best friend, your dog, as you referred to it, what are some of the hardships y'all went through to have the bond y'all have now?
Being talked down on because I started him working out at 4 years old. Most people think working out stunts your growth. All this stuff. I had people threatening to call CPS on me. this and that. But what people don't know is I was a personal trainer for 15 years, and I know proper program design, and you can work a child out at a young age as long as you do it the right way.
Correct.
If they can do it 15 times, they can do it. The problem is when you stunt a child growth is when you lift heavy weights and their growth plates are damaged and ligaments are put in the wrong place.
Austin, what do you take from the bond, having that great bond with your dad? What is it like having a great bond with your dad?
I say it's like,
Would you say he your dog?
yeah, definitely.
Walk me through some of the conversations that y'all have had, like fun memories, fun conversations y'all had.
How about the game? When I beat you in 2K and you go to bed with that L.
No,
I sit in the bed with that L in
With
2K.
the L.
Yes, sir. I don't play no
Who
game.
you had?
LeBron. I'm going with I want the best player.
I beat you when you had LeBron.
He beat me most of the games.
Austin said, "Get it right."
But the last game of the night, I'm going to win it because he going to think about that.
What was the score?
I don't know, but he was up by like 20.
Have you ever beat him? We gonna give you some shot.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
good enough.
He beat me 90% of the time. But I talk more.
Okay.
I'm the extrovert. I'm the talker. He kind of low key.
You try to get in the head.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That way when he come across somebody like me on the baseball field or wherever, then
Right.
it's nothing.
Nothing. Now, we've talked about some of the hardships y'all got. You're able to sit behind the scenes at the Tyler Perry Studios and see your son act on national TV. How can you put that into words what it's like? Is it emotional?
I don't know yet, bro. I'm still living it. So I haven't even stopped there. That's a great question, bro, because I'm just kind of in it right now. We're in the thick of it. So, of course, I'm thankful.
Right.
But it hasn't hit me all the way. Like, so people tell me on social media, like, man, does he realize the type of success he's having? And I'm like, I don't even realize it right now. You know what I mean?
Just in the moment.
Yeah, because that's how greatness happens. Michael Jordan didn't play basketball thinking about how great the moment was.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, as a father, I put one foot in front of the other, and then hopefully, years from now, I can sit back and really get in my feelings about the special moments we had. Right now, we just create them, so it's hard to really just embellish in that, if that makes sense.
It does, but there not been nights where you have just maybe sat on the bed by yourself and just be like, my son on TV?
So no, and
Okay.
to expound on that, there are nights where I sit on the bed and try to figure out, my son is in a TV sitcom, how can I get him in a movie?
So that you would say that's the next goal.
Yeah. Or how can I make him the main character in a sitcom and not just supporting cast? So
Lead role?
lead role. Yeah. So I haven't gotten to the point where I can sit on the bed and really just be in awe of where we are now. It's just like I'm gonna always give thanks,
Right.
but I want more for him.
Gotta keep going.
For him.
Gotcha.
Because as we all know, we all on borrowed time. So when it's over, I want to make sure that I've given him everything that I could give him, and I haven't used that precious time that the Lord has given me embellishing in our accomplishments.
You don't want no regrets.
Nah, I want everybody else to do all of that. You feel me? I let everybody else talk about the accomplishments. I gotta give him what I'm giving him.
Would you say this is giving him flowers?
I give him, yeah, absolutely. I'm giving him his flowers, and I'm also I'm giving him a life raft because I want him to have something to fall back on.
Austin, how does that make you feel hearing all of that?
It makes me feel like my dad has my back. Like he's the one I could fall on when I'm going through tough times.
To have your dad's support, I know that has played a major role in your success, but would you say, as a young man, would you say it's important to have your dad in your life?
Most definitely.
Why?
Because uh my dad has went through all the stuff that I'm going through. Like some of the stuff that he teaches me, my mom can't teach me because she's not a dude.
Right.
So yeah, I feel
Do you
It's
hear
crazy,
that?
bro.
Do you hear that?
Yeah. This is the first interview we've done in a long time. So I haven't seen him really talk to someone since he was like 5, 6. So it's blowing my mind, to be quite honest with you. It's crazy.
The fact that he knows, I respect my mom, I love her, but there's some things she just simply can't teach me.
Man, I wouldn't have told you if I had to guess what he would say, it wouldn't be nothing of this nature right now.
That comes from you and her?
Now that feeling on the side of the bed that you asked me about, I got it now. I got it. When I listen to him talk to people like yourself, I haven't had that, so I didn't know what that felt like. But that was solid right there. That was a great feeling.
Elaborate on the feeling.
Proud, assured.
Makes you know as a father you're doing something right.
That's what I mean by assured. I feel like okay, it's working. It's working.
How hard have you worked for
It's
this?
been hard. It's been hard.
How hard?
I don't want to do this. I don't want to go there because it'll get emotional. It's been hard. Putting myself aside for somebody else. You know, it's easy to say that as a dad, that's what you're supposed to do, but when you really think about what it takes to put yourself aside, we talk about, waking up before you could even stretch, you fixing his breakfast, driving an hour and a half to school, putting him in a private school because the public schools weren't meeting his needs, doing everything that I can and going that extra mile to make sure that he got everything he needs to be an upstanding young man in this world. And to be everything that people, to not be what others may think he is.
And
when they see somebody with locks that look like himself, I want them to be extremely shocked when those words come out of his mouth. So that's why I kind of got a little bit emotional, because some people don't think that you are more than what they see on the surface.
You got to take me further. What do you mean?
Well, it's like that hoopty we talked about that I drive up in, or this that he show up with. He don't have a clean cut lineup, so they expect the same thing that you always see on social media: the kid to get out,
The same narrative.
drill rap, NBA young boy. They don't expect him to sit up here and talk as articulate as he did just now with you.
Which I already know he was a very intelligent
Yeah,
young man.
of
Right,
course.
right.
But the world don't know that.
Very true.
But eventually they will.
I mean, you even see it on the show. I mean, obviously we know he's acting, but for his age, I would say that's unheard of.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to know that you instilled that in him as a father, one I would say is it's really breaking that whole narrative of what we are used to and what we have known across the world of, hey, the black man isn't in his child life, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that, and you have literally heard
All he can do is play football
all he's doing is play football, right? Rap.
or hoop.
And I'm
or
not saying
rap.
nothing is wrong with that.
But
by
guess
no stretch.
what? He can do all of them.
And
All of them.
now you talked about some of the criticism y'all faced or you faced online with having him involved in all of these different things.
Mm-hmm.
What goes to your mind when all them people criticize you? And I know you say you don't care, but does it frustrate you a little bit? Does it make you think a little bit?
Of course, doubt comes up sometimes. It make me feel like, okay, maybe I should try it this way. Maybe I should try a softer approach. But at the end of the day, I have to pump myself up and assure myself that I'm doing the right thing for him.
And also, do you feel that he is?
Excuse me?
Do you feel that he is? Do you feel that your dad is doing that?
Yeah, definitely.
You are, as we talked about a lot in the interview, you on the show. What is it like to work with all of those other actors?
I can't really describe it.
It's fun though, right?
Yeah, it's really fun.
Did you ever see yourself acting?
Like watching it on the TV. Yeah, I watch all of it.
You watch all of it.
Yeah.
When you are watching that, is there a moment like, man, that's me? Or did you already see yourself there? Like you just knew I'd do this.
I can't wait for this answer.
It's sort of like, dang, that's really me on the TV screen. Like thousands of people are seeing this.
I'd say millions of people.
Yeah, millions.
You're in millions of homes. I'm one of them. I watch you, and you know I've seen you grow, do great things, been able to meet you and your daddy. And as I even told him before the camera came on, how proud I was of you. You started off, first of all, you started off showing love to people, which is typically unheard of at that age alone. Like usually you on riding a bicycle, on a video game, doing something that the average 4 or 5 year old.
You know, sometimes, bro, I hate to cut you off, but
No, go ahead.
sometimes I wonder if the casting director knew that or something, or if just the Lord just gave us that as a token of appreciation. I still want to know how us? How did it be? Why us?
And you don't know.
Uh-uh.
Have you had the opportunity to ask anybody?
No, I haven't, because things are so fast paced. I wish I could, man. Because it's like, you know, you see a lot of stories when Tyler Perry give people opportunities that's been going, like Sinbad. Sinbad had a stroke.
Right.
He gave him his first.
In straw.
Right. So I'm wondering, like, does this man really have a knack for finding people who are giving good out of their heart, or is this? I don't know. I want to know though. I would love to know if I got the chance to talk. That would be the first thing I asked Tyler Perry, because we haven't met him. Yeah, he's become that big.
That y'all haven't even.
Tyler Perry's House of Pain is ran by someone that works for Tyler Perry Studios.
And y'all haven't even laid eyes on Tyler Perry. Or maybe you laid eyes on him and just didn't know that was him?
I've been told that he rides around campus in a golf cart with a hoodie on, and you really don't know if it's him or not. He does travel low key, for sure.
Now, you did say earlier that you would love to see Austin in a leading role in a movie. Would you like to act in a movie, Austin?
Yeah, I like to act in a movie.
What kind of movie? Would it be like, well, I know it probably won't be this, but horror, thriller, comedy? What would you want?
I say a comedy, because I think I could come up with some pretty
Funny scripts.
pretty funny jokes, funny lines.
So your dad has told me that sometimes the scripts they give y'all, it ain't always what you stick to.
Right.
Could you give me an example of a script they gave y'all and you might have ad-libbed something?
So do you want like one of the most recent ones.
That's fine. Yeah.
So I had a line where it said, I was talking to my brother on the show, and I said, well, you're stupid, and that's why you're failing every class. But he had called me a loser a few lines up.
Okay.
So I said, yeah, I got you, a loser. That's why you're failing every class, stupid.
Did you say it like that?
Yeah.
When you sit behind the scenes and you see them type of scenes, gotta be comical to you, right?
It is comical, but then it's also a little bit frustrating
Oh, what?
because I know he ready.
Okay.
I know he ready for the main thing. But we gotta trust the process and wait our time. But I know he's ready.
What do you think?
He's
it's
got a
gonna take?
photographic memory. He's in the number 3 school in America.
What school is that?
It's called St. Mark's School of Texas. It's the number 1 all boys private school in America.
Why did you put him in
Number
an all boys private school?
It just happened to be all boys. It was one of those spiritual things again.
Okay.
I was actually riding around doing DoorDash one day, and a guy walked out with the shirt on. And I asked him about it, and he asked for a few links on Austin. I sent them to him, and he was like, "This is the kind of kid we need there." So that became a full ride.
Austin, why is it important to have a relationship with God?
I think it's important because God can send you good things and he can send you bad things. So if you don't have a relationship with him, you won't have a bond, like a bond with God. So if you have a relationship with him, he'll maybe send you messages in your dreams. He might like put obstacles in front of stuff that you're trying to chase after to let you know that it's not really what you want to do. And overall, he just protects you from stuff.
I'm blown. I don't even really know what to ask after that. Have you? So you said sometimes, or if you have a relationship with God, He'll probably show you things through your dream. Has that happened to you?
So I've had some cases where I've seen something in a dream and then it happens in real life. So I had a dream of me getting some kind of role, but it wasn't really clear. I did an audition the prior day, and then I got the role the next day. And that is what happened.
I ain't know nothing about this dream. You asking some great questions and you helping my bond with my son because I ain't know nothing about this. That's deep.
So by hearing that, would you want to believe that God may have already shown him and y'all just didn't know it?
And I just didn't know what you said it right the first time. God had something that with his name on it, not mine.
Right. And you said that's your first time hearing it.
I ain't know nothing about this, bro. Nothing. Because I try to keep our relationship light because I'm always the enforcer.
Right.
So it's either hot or cold. We don't have conversations in the middle like this. And so I'm thankful.
I'm honored.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it.
That's really all I can say.
I appreciate it.
I'm just honored that y'all even took the time to sit down with me. Austin, you have made a difference in a lot of people's lives. Do you really understand the impact you've made? I know it's probably hard.
I mean, I'm still going through it.
Okay.
So it's kind of hard to look back at that. And it's only been a few years. Right. So I feel like when I get older, I'll be able to understand how much of a difference I've made.
In the meantime, what do you plan to do?
Like, as in...
As far as to keep showing love to people, to keep making a difference? You know, do you want to keep acting?
Yes.
Something you want to do? What's the, and I know we talked about your dad believing that, well, you know, your dad said he believes you're ready for a lead role. But do you see yourself in that lead role already?
I think I could play a lead role, but I haven't shown that I can fully, and they don't really know. And sometimes they assume that since other people are older, they're able to handle more.
Right.
But I'm still trying to prove that that's not really that true.
I'll go into this, and this is more of a question for you, TJ. You know, it's been said across social media, and you know, you have to take what social media said with a grain of salt anyway. But it's been said that Tyler Perry really doesn't take care of his people. Would you say that's true or false?
Man, that's a damn lie.
That's what it is.
That's a damn lie. Now, here's what I will say in regards to that. Tyler Perry had a coming up phase just like everybody else.
Absolutely.
He had some humble beginnings.
I remember his plays.
Right. So there were some times when Tyler Perry couldn't pay people $50,000 an episode. And those stories got out. Tyler's been an open book as far as the production side of things go for a long time. He's promoted his plays in churches since we can remember. So, of course, he had some messed up wigs. Of course, he wasn't able to pay people. But now, Tyler's a billionaire. So, he doesn't have a need to keep things from people or keep people down. He takes good care of his people. I mean, we have first class flights. We have private drivers in black trucks. We have gourmet meals, morning, noon, and evening. We are offered per diem when we are not eating those gourmet meals. Everything that you can imagine having for your 11-year-old son and yourself, he provides. So I think that in Tyler's defense, they're talking about when he first started. Right. And in defense of the people who say that, they have an old education. Their education is 2010.
The old education of Tyler Perry.
Yes.
Okay.
They're going off of 2010. So I ain't saying they lying.
Okay.
But you know, you can't just keep playing that same song forever.
That's true.
Keep watching. The man doing big things.
Absolutely.
He giving opportunity to people who LA wouldn't give an opportunity to.
Taraji.
He brought LA to Atlanta.
I mean, I did hear him say in a speech, if you're not going to, and I'm just paraphrasing here, if you're not going to give me a table in Hollywood, well, I come to Atlanta and build my own.
Yeah,
and it seems to me that's what he's done.
He did that. He got a big studio with multiple studios on what, Fort McPherson?
Which is an old
slave plantation.
Yeah, right. Well, y'all and y'all are able to be on that same.
Listen, man, I told you we went to Hollywood to do an IHOP commercial. I can count on one hand how many black people I saw. When I go over here to Tyler Perry studio, that's all I see. And they making money. The driver's making $70 an hour. So whoever saying Tyler Perry don't take care of their people, they are completely uneducated and on the outside and need to try to get on the inside. Especially they're of color.
Wow. I'm gonna wrap it up by doing this. What would you say, Austin? What would you say to other young men your age and older about staying grinded and focused and doing the right thing?
I would say just keep going. You're gonna get a lot of no's, but when you get that one yes, you're gonna get your foot in the door, and people are gonna know who you are. So if you feel like you are down, just keep going.
And that's what you did.
Yeah. You'll find your way eventually.
Hearing that from my 11-year-old. What do you say?
I ain't gotta say nothing. That's the beauty of it. He said everything needed to be said.
And I ain't got nothing else to say. Wrap it up, man. Well, I guess it's left to me to wrap it up, right? Like, follow, share, subscribe. Just a phenomenal conversation by my little brother here, Austin, my brother TJ Perine. I've had the pleasure of knowing both of them for a few years. As we talked about earlier, Austin has showed love to the world. I was able to be one of the ones who was fortunate enough to be a part of that. So yeah, again, like, follow, share, subscribe, and I got G and TJ on the other side of this camera. Have I forgotten anything as far as social media? I hit it all. We'll see y'all next time for another episode. Peace.